This is a 2022 Bentley Bentayga that was just imported from Japan. And today I'm going to show you what it's like to buy a used Japanese luxury SUV with 50,000 kilometers on the mileage, as well as show you all of its flaws and features, and of course I'm going to get it out on the road and see how it drives. Now, before we get started, I just want to mention that this Bentley was purchased at a Japanese auction for a very low price. Typically, a Bentley like this costs somewhere around 120,000 to 170,000 euros after expenses, and that's including the transportation and the customs cost. But this Bentley was purchased for even less than that. Now, before you say that there's something wrong with it, that's not the case. Matter of fact, I'll show you in just a minute what amazing condition this car is. In reality, getting such crazy deals for these luxury cars isn't something rare for the Japanese auctions. They are full of hidden gems, you just have to consistently monitor the market. Now, speaking of this Bentley, it then took around 3.5 months to make its way here to Cyprus. That might sound like a long time, but 3 months is usually the standard when it comes to Japanese imports. This is the V8 trim level that has a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that produces 542 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. With all that power, it goes 0 to 100 in just 4.4 seconds. Moving on to the exterior, the biggest eye-catchers in front are definitely these headlights. They look like the ones on the Flying Spur and the Continental GT, and if you look closely, you'll notice that they have this beautiful shaped crystal layout design that looks very expensive. Each headlight has 48 individual LEDs inside it, and that's a lot for just one headlight. My personal car has fewer LEDs than this Bentley has in just one headlight. The Bentayga also features these huge grills on the front end of the car, giving it a more aggressive look on the road. In the back, you get these oval tail lights that are similar to other Bentley model designs. These tail lights are completely on the tailgate, so when the trunk is open, these lower lights turn on so the car is still visible at night. And speaking of opening the trunk, you look around and there's no obvious trunk open button. That's because it's hidden in the Bentley logo. You press the B and the trunk opens up automatically. And finally, we get inside of the Japanese Bentayga, and I must say, the interior is in an amazing condition. If I didn't know the mileage, I would never guess that this car already drove 50,000 kilometers. But before we get into the interior, I want to talk about the key. This Bentayga comes with 2 full-size keys. They're thick and heavy, just like you would expect from an ultra-luxury car. They even drew a Bentayga with the tailgate open on the back of the button. Each of Bentley's vehicles comes with its own picture on the key, which is a nice attention to detail. Another cool feature in the interior worth noting is the climate vents right above the center screen. This design of the vents with the clock is intended to mimic the Bentley logo. The wings on the outside with the clock in the middle as the B. To start the car, you have to press the start-stop button that's strangely located in the center. It's this circle in the middle of the center console. Around the start-stop button is the drive mode selector. Twist it to switch between Sport, Bentley, Comfort or Custom mode. To select the gear in this Bentley, you have this traditional looking gear lever where you have to press the Bentley logo on top that then lets you to shift into gear. Right above the gear lever, you have the climate controls. Overall, it's pretty solid, but some features require additional steps to be enabled. For example, if you want to turn on the heated seat, pressing the heated seat button isn't enough, because that just turns on the heated seat menu, after which you have to then enable it on the screen. The same with the direction of the airflow. The airflow button just enables the menu for you to then change it on the screen. The infotainment system is very intuitive and greatly responsive to touch. No need to push hard on the screen. It picks up light taps just like a smartphone. Everything is organized pretty well. There's a lot of options in this infotainment system, but everything is exactly where you would expect it to be. Right below the screen are some physical buttons to help you better control the infotainment system. Next up is the gauge cluster. It's very easy to understand, it feels very premium, and it's very easy to configure it. As for the interior, I have very mixed feelings about it. See, there's too much color in my opinion. The blue leather, white leather, black leather, blue stitching, this black screen, chrome details everywhere. It seems like too much. And another thing that I want to point out is there's a lot of plastic in this interior. There's plastic on the steering wheel, there's plastic on the buttons in the console, even the start-stop button is plastic. In my opinion, such a car should try to minimize plastic as much as possible. In here, there's quite a lot of it. But don't get me wrong, overall, this is an amazing interior. The materials are premium, the stitching is top-notch, everything about this material looks and feels great. Besides the plastic. It's also worth noting that Bentley didn't neglect the back seats. The embroidered Bentley logos in the seats look fantastic. The materials are top-notch. You even get these foldable wooden tables so you can get some work done while being chauffeured in the Bentley Bentayga. But the most interesting item in the back seats is the screen in the center, which is absolutely mandatory in a luxury car like this because there's a lot to control. Press this little button and the screen pops open, and you can just pick it up and use it wherever you want. Next up, we move to the trunk area of the Bentayga. As you can see, the Bentayga has a large trunk space, but there's no button that allows you to drop the back seats from the trunk area. In many luxury SUVs, you have a dedicated button that you just press and the seats go down. In the Bentayga, you have to walk around each side and manually fold down the seats. And finally, under the hood of the Bentayga, we can see the car's engine. Like I mentioned before, this is a twin-turbo V8 that has 542 horsepower, which is a very significant number. It goes 0 to 100 in just 4.4 seconds, which is unreal for such car. It's big and luxurious. It's supposed to weigh a lot, but somehow this engine still manages to make it go so fast. And now let's see what the Bentley Bentayga is like on the road. When it first came out, I remember people made fun of it, like a Bentley SUV, who needs that? But when all of the other luxury brands suddenly started making their own versions of the SUV, it all of a sudden stopped being so stupid. Bentley is currently owned by the Volkswagen Group, so is Porsche and Audi. 15 years ago, they were all separate brands that built cars in their own way. Over time, that difference started shrinking. Bentley did a good job at differentiating their own car. This doesn't feel like a Porsche or an Audi. It feels completely separate. And I want to point out that this Japanese Bentley feels like a brand new car. Japanese people typically don't abuse their luxury SUVs. They're usually bought by very rich people that take very good care of their cars. And it's very obvious that this is the case here. This car is in a phenomenal condition. The whole time that I've been reviewing it, I didn't even find a single scratch on it. Neither in the interior or the exterior. It's that flawless. Bentley really put a lot of effort in this car. Overall, this turned out to be a great deal for our client. This car is luxurious, fast, comfortable, and he got it at a very good price. The way this car accelerates and the sounds it makes all add up into a very pleasant experience. And this is a very solid car that doesn't have that many competitors. I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you're thinking of importing a car from Japan, reach out to us and we will guide you every step of the way.